Otro maluel tutao, mal mutiarte alle mranga sula diosra. Tabole la belwada ma uk tele ngara mimokle budo el belu. Maro isek mutiarte alle bugusus rai budul maraklay maro bugul belau. Ilong ebiraklay maro masil belau. Chief Justice ngiray galaw marugul justices, President Baules, mar senators, Speaker kanay marugul delegates, governors, lators, marbek other belaw. Mga ngayangal mo ocharigi, mga rektor ablur belar elal sils. Igida mal dirigal marunong ng artelo mga Vice President Oilaw, Minister of State Aitaro, Minister Human Resources, Tourism and Development, MPII, Minister Obiang, Amtera Ministry dara MEF, ang area Director Agriculture, Miss Honorable Masaw, Director Dr. Jenkins, Education, and then we have Terul ang area Mr. Cullen, Tagauchi, Kushigen, Colin Carlson, Kushigen. Regal terong ano sa gidra to technology. Obviously, so later on we have an executive order to sign, and I'm gonna give them an opportunity to brief you on it. Naman mga sulara da media ng artera tutaw, of course, Miss Sungyama, Miss Lilay, direct Nawakla, along with tutaw. So I see we have at least Yabela with us, Materul TMC, PWFM. So, Palau, I'm sorry, Palau, I say. I say, first thing that we want to talk about this morning, Executive Order number 500. Makuha teal, Cullen, you can speak in English and I'll translate. To brief us on what we're trying to do. Teal Executive Order number 500. Amo establish Office of Applied Technology and Strategy. So simula do idin mo tukor beno. Yala. Akala no setia sa kodim sa odra milidiul. Ma BSL and treta. So technology is everything to do with digital technology, anything to do with AI, cybersecurity, it covers all of those. Computers, yeah. So, robots coming in the future, yeah.
So now, Mr. President, if I may speak in English, as the President has alluded to, the technical terms are rather difficult to translate in Palau, so to make this easier and simple, I'll continue in English. The point of this office is to actualize the President's vision of creating a digital government, digital services that we can offer to Palauan people, to improve the lives of Palauan people and make it more convenient to access information and government services. And in order to do so, there needs to be a guiding body for technology within the government. The current state of the government is decentralized. We have different efforts at different places. And what this body will do is centralize that effort. And so there's one governing body and we can move forward with these goals. And the ultimate goal, of course, is digital transformation, but also through our efforts, we can make Palauan government more secure, and that bleeds out to the rest of the rest of the country, including the private sector. There's ripple effects to this, and we're very excited to begin progress. Thank you, Mr. President.
Tula kalanan otrulay seldo sadra technology, kadabul masada cyber security, kadam masada kasi garada we move toward an e-government. Yeah, all themes that we tackle. How do we use AI? How do we garada ضرورة كلام رجيد المونيل لو سبيرا يقال أوبسل دونغول ملامو available مريد دي سل دونغ لير الالتايما أيام ملادو دونا سيمناريا سايبر أتاك المر أسبيتار المر أبلا بوليس المر فاينانس إيه كده نمتيجين لو سيترى نقول سنسيدا نغاروسا أمليولا كلال ونغاروسا كلال دوسبي إيه كده أولا أمرسلا سيستم meng cloud to trela otrul langaria obis lomes rarang le teluror lo ba imol uldaso el wase meng magrada da gaya uldaso make sure kada selba akle e osper tial bes el dongul gida osperil langaria gida rabe kalsil sel mutum lesi meng tial obis of course kalau mengasing applied technology and strategy si agora adi best lom sodil tora Palau. Di hotel bodoruni se kadmo standardize. So gidarilla directive se selbu ramla memo. Matara ablol ptignia obis rigida amnom ptiglo se. Egal gagaros el obis. For example, I bring adrigo spera Windows 7. Windows 7 was came out in what year? 2007. Oy, aling mului rak. Edriga ngaria masir gider alsela government rospeye gider masila blotigro se ayga ulang sel soisba cyber attack mera system meng cloud to trela ngaria radal and make sure we're all on Windows 11 for example where amasil dospe ngaraigel right and masil dospe doseng right and masileng ngaraigel doseng standard ayel el girel ngaringir ngal masil el rogul minimum no kapos para igar rogul office di ka tanda sang ariga office ke wa polaris sang ariga BLS sang ariga engineers u kospe angot el misil egira dan make sure igar standard da ang ari di office sa momes igi rogul procurement tele blol mem ka design a pion di a minister mga ka tagim expert te duror magi design lang adam sel soal ngira dan mo minimize adam sel soal mo standard del dor tira kre seguida minimum standard del spe Diri ka namtingin yun kasi adom ara igar software en ngilan ngaria collective hindi ka adom ngi let's say Windows Office ngiral government as a whole om RSL system to manage everybody diri ka lam niya sing ngilan ngaria one email account el dol tira krina el time obviously represent tam namu ursel .gov.pw se domain era government we want to get everybody in the entire government mospera.gov.pw. Misal mo email, hindi ka mo lara email ra Ministry of State na Gmail ako. Let your private account. It should be standardized agirel all of government. Maula ang cloud to tell executive order place of tial office. The triga ospera term na set the coordinators. Of course, a background term is IT and cyber. Taga diri gamnel ilo master sengira cyber security ra Australia. Kada mga sulil la sen lilu return merbelang awile Australia dim nakal biskaw rerem kamno siya melmuten me yung alakal. Mula gele program Australia oilo leng vice president de alsil dikke they have to come home so kada mga sulil lilu me but you know that's the idea. Kada mga sulil kalalan los elo itia Salt Lake City muten merbelang but you know, that's what we need. We need new ideas. We need fresh ideas. We need to coordinate those efforts. Kadamral leverage tial niya bees el dongul gida ospeni. Kadama mala e-passport. Well, part is passport all the same. Namugian mo niya a national ID. Albo niya national ID rigide. Again, namaset rukos perid in e-government. How do we leverage that technology? Ultimately, tial lobbies, muktegania, mo coordinate, mo walolda, ay galoldas, and make sure that doba imort toy. Sel domes tial technology, mgrados peri, el milisi raklangar regi drabe kalsit sa other penam. Dilungin, Melterun mertialbag witness at sign. Ako malungil number ang executive order number 500. Ay. Elal silseng 8 Malok close signature. Okay. Ito lang. Bo, motion. Oh.
Ang ti ko kari tiamal fil drama ko kari mal makati katel ko uldu akan met tumuro ay sige das hindi a question no asen di akakauta sulit tel mo it seems talgib ki kanera mo why kaya ma abro Australia mayang is accessible entire ministry mang di akakauta su ka mo expand rin takap se double ministry of technology or something like that.
Damang malungil gere ang wakle ng siya ultimate goal. Ako trulang mlari telul das mlari sa budget ito kung request rin olbila amle katrin mojero. Mga kada ko lang sa gidan first step. Ala gidin create office and start with the coordination. Di umda sa long term plan gida dan morti lagi. Ndiri nga imra a proposal gida ministry diri kada kalorara senate but anyway. Again, a lot of it sa them rule, ding executive order sa kan rule, hindi ultimately require alla. So, tila mo require alla. But let's, may desak tunga laureo, ba li, emro ko da borti lagi. Colin, go ahead.
Yes, if I may, I'd like to take a moment to recognize very key individuals who were able to make this become a reality. So the members of our task force were myself and Takeichi. We also had Mr. Conrad Alel, Stalin Pedro, Jay Anson. We did receive a lot of support from our legal counsel, Mr. Dan Menching, and had other partners. I also really want to recognize the policymakers, lawmakers from different parts of different government branches as well for coordinating with us and engaging with us. Is incredibly helpful. We did have agents and government representation throughout the ministry who took time outside of their normal roles to support us in creating this, and we are most grateful to them as well. Thank you.
Sulang, dimle sokal dire ko kora di share bebira appena first lady adiriga nora Washington DC. Mle return last week and mlo attend their cell look event bel hosting Melania Trump nora White House. Mle uk dari amle fostering the future together in global and the global coalition summit. Ngora mo fit tel tora technology ma do saudani relangan tuk blol first ladies rablulad mle 45 rablulam larse and tuk mla tela druk engage and of course uk share igel challenges ergid and hopefully help ergid look create igel policies el masabakra ngalged. One of the big, of course, topics there impact our social media, my AI on our children and how we have to be cognizant. Oral given. This otherwise was last week Vice President, other architects Hawaii. Of course, Hawaii February the contractor of they spent the whole week here. El neurerera mitra other hospital tran mo orangli understand ra roller CHC hospital ma hospital ma of course ngani sel lural lila task force but ela tia sel lural mal dig down and really see was it the mal 150 rooms that is 60 enough you know those are questions and they need to be based on standards ultimately allocation ng mortgage. So of course task force identify 3 locations. I wanna kuksar ngapang, another one ang arbebula, agad sila ang arbebula ng ruboble minister. Oh, selong ede, Orior am propose several sites, mainly tial Asahi in Mora, sel temporary one-stop shop. Dire kami propose sel Nico, sel bebula Nico, Komisteba, ma existing hospital. Ma tigal architect sa sagi mal, names rogoy, understand, elangan alam mo mi, emro ko come back to you, say, ngaraigel klung yolel, ngaraigel kantil, mosebel by July, imla gira decide was allocation of mortgage, namosil come up with a lifetime estimate, le blue rambriga na mlak murgid was kama masoma estimate by July ndiri kal sori lor turningira seluk planner tira assistance and merigid. Ayan meeting la secretary lamba mena was before I give top the office and namosomal kada mungis kada mlamu at least na kami tawdo do gira siya ko mang kada uro gira sa gid timeline. Dirigal first meeting ni kita mangela working group trigel tira adadaga uro gira tel tokolo asa kada maroba kita gar al blur belaw. Yeah, executive number 498 kada mrenga sulit tiga rogul lera meeting mlaria rumtera rubugul belaw beo umtera rubugul belaw binung umtera besil belaw delegate gibbon sa umtera House of Delegates region sido el clerk Senate umtera Senate of course tigel other executive branch ma adi so del duli rela se triga awal di lel tel urior they were open to different groups, different kagaros at the el mo adult tiang like other youth, I say Minister Mutul. So triawa din ulmo lisel lungilay sa kasi kadang you see activities and mararablo and most importantly sel lomaklat kergid ro say higa makngit terur tira ada matamo o feel wa say gira dor tutak gira dor ay sar police ro say report Martia Minister of Justice say, we're coming after you, ma. Kasi hindi ka. Dami nga sudah atrablul, says report. Mga niya, igel cases ula kadamla asya dalam de emertigelat, di ser krisira balulo ay ser gida kada report. Di sel working group pati kadit focuser say. Di regal focuser sel lo asay. Magara dor si sakra ng ligid, maayda kung te education, magara focuser ang ligid help them. المهم نغلق kantil so they can stay away. وقال هي بتيجي نقدر نسوي سبرني التوب سوي كل رولر ministry health. So it's a really a whole of governmental trial address I got issue. دمرنا سولي أقدر أبلو and we want all people to participate. دري قالوا كيا سيلو هسي ملا توب ده يجي request I mean يجي application open الملا application يجي small grants. They get small grants in a year, focus, there are said, they get the team reader, say, just say no to illegal drugs. Bekal the bell, apply here, like get small grant, and most of you rule a program in your community or computer, Gagros the bell, and Morobra, of course, Otrilla, Kitter, and Sela Blue Bellow. You know, hopefully soon there'll be a team and may help reader customs. Like a border protection, I'm to tell it. So, Ambassador SSL will do the TCN agreement read, they're going to be sending a team. They got one lab, it's actually a team and help read assessor the border read, how do we control it better and help to customs read and rotate around whatever you need to do to ensure the border is protected. The regal Cotrurior, Mosed Morang Move. Join other Saudi Development Fund. Lertiangel CEO or Saudi Development Fund. No sell sign or sell agreement Lamangela Blue Belau. Sell 15 million and first 15 million and more NDVP and more tira Tora housing. Vice President Elia allí tiga ngarset tal ngaram Maldives makase halle. Hindi also loring sa Maldives. may motongal mas nga matel may elek flor album la cancel la meeting ang termo album lura tiga kasi mama soma di 1 hour tour you want somebody drive around the almost kasi hindi ang yung require mo rata anyway at the end of the day I'm not 4 hours it was a 1 hour trip became a 4 hour trip dito sa Temporal Paradise so good news kasi at least at naman kasi kada atrib ng harba para malday lastly, congratulations on Mora Governor Ngirata Boy, the Speaker Arurang, Mar Adal Olbi Rairai. Congratulations Mora Rairai on the 36th Constitutional Day. This is normal mo Rairai, Mablu Rairai, and Mabesel Government Terstir. So, adiro ise, bay sindak paskam na kung som ngari update ko.
Oy, ungil tutaw President, ungil tutaw morar ministers mo kamera adra media ungil tutaw morar adra belaw. Medikuway sa igal mla mo merekal Sunday gita di tal beto kar tirgal specialist el mera blur belaw beto ko lang seor ti al hospital gid ko seor adra belaw at wera ugro. So last week President tirgel adra Taipei Adventist Hospital aguk nartiang tirgem le partner lo manggala PCC emiru legel guk clinic tir PCC direk man beto kal adra belaw amlo Mr. Tir direk serabol mereka tamle masakagel motel request was sorry motel may akmla sendra babiligel mortir el motel invited till may so hopefully el sel el arraget tel motel may el motel mesar arbelaw direk el last week me lang el Sunday en tirgele kok adra sel so seng show chuan hospital tirgele kok adra acupuncture Jennifer mata direk lang arak lolo hospital mang malbeto kar adal direk molding artire kuk malay gay gidale kuk traditional medicine kumya direk madenge kum larmeng si isel ngel kuk imong kuk pulam kar doctor yano ge kuk mod al toktang gel akuk pay sa Malaysia and then direk ngaray gay gidale acupuncture may gay gidiawal tablol direk ka rosel terul toktang al ngartiang al tira orior ay gay gidal toera acupuncture ablur belaw so te al radar belaw mo Mr. Tir el al week tirgel ng araklo hospital ko kumay sa babal daw mayol daw ligire like ayil to era acupuncture last week tamnar hospital mo President direk el al April ang malbato kar specialist el may kadamre nga sule la singgong el partnership rigid lo bangela singgong dengar niya toktang ra tirgel ko toktang ra langse hanggang ngarbelaw el al sils in fact emlera April 6 yang artiang al molmutra April 10 edi guwais was ngarnya imora patient trigid al arbelaw hanggang amlor tiale ingilwagay sringil mo tial medical referral committee girel moray krel belaw ngara referral program moray krel belaw girel at koera langs di bigos tirgay the specialist trigid ra lang sa mlak merder belaw etam lak cancel or rolel si iling artiay gid krur mo ikikita igel benefit el dollar ay kaigid tirgay specialist el me uktirel ngariya imora specialist el gakuk adra gidni gakuk mekmerder belaw April 12 yang artiang al bolmutra April 23 direk ngara singgong al may segid sel partnership rigid el malmsisi lorior ida masinggong last tingele guk ganur sa hemodialysis president direk guk mekmerder belaw April 12 mo 23 direk guk mo lang seor sa igidal guk to era hemodialysis rigidra belaw mama direk na request ra ambassador chen ra Taiwan luwasig malo spare dentist rel all time ngarinya telgibel shortage sigidra dentist direk la promise kung el wasig mo lang seor lo si garolel ol gedra imong or sel gotul mere all time ling mal close lirar dentist ra blur belaw giredel suakal may saigang ang bolswe adre belaw ngarger magere reng sa bolswe ilbay me tiagidiat te al gukla receive ay gidel patengel ang esura gurule sulang presidente
sulang vice presidente ora ulbes el dulim le sogol gora di shelo se ako trule kadamra sula adro albil finally semlos el pasra senate after erurra el Saudi loan di ngari atukol dilingel CEO ra Saudi loan mena was time wasted opportunity lost actually sele bebra time delays cost us those opportunities Actually silang diri ka nga imo ra pending ra olbira kalulaw. Till those others sell Palau commemorative coin. Kita mo na sa espia narulang nga alel namutuktak sel kumbali. El ngia timnakal kumbali ra kabelment terbelaw through NDBP which is el ludo da maso is NDBP umle not a private individual. Tel tutak la na hombre. Pelay ke ludo de la roguya algangi sel kumbali aseng mera kabelment terbelaw. Not only that, timnakal was I will pay you $1 million. And that was agreed to a year ago. How some pass a resolution, in Mora Senate, it's been a year. And I'll see some number 1 year almaden. So it's $1 million plus annual payment trial doctoral coin, which could be anywhere from $80,000 to $100,000 a year. We've already wasted 1 year. So not only have we not taken the 1 million, we've also missed that opportunity 100,000. Already so can share saying, especially Senate, Marcel Committee of the whole, Senator Mario. Maria tukon blal beli ara rablu la se kong olugul. I hope hindi kal sen mara dekal mara tukoy. Hindi tukay gel bil morse dekal lora el olugul lang klel mak. Hopefully ang sibel address rin elal bunia regular session, let's do it. Because anyway, time wasted, opportunity lost. Leswag al dire kal share tukora alu. Idam na tell del mit igal fuel companies a few weeks ago. Leswag del momdeng na se gora close bakring na se modeka alu ra blur velo. Mletingin merida sa igal shipment el schedule alu adim ranme. Deka problem mobile I mean Blue Bay tanger tira dirgamle unload. Shell amera next month. Their own schedule, deka delay. Adil loay seguida kasi of course kama luma follow sell world market price. So that's and you know so yidre kami askara trigal economist trigid matamil subri mangari economist trigid amlam subra alu from for the last 10 years. Actually adronela FSM, RMI, Mabelang. And what they found was aral alur belaw actually follows the world market price if you go back 20 years. Mal consistent tel graph. Abay bola sara RMI, FSM, adekal sal YC. Sel sal dogalang tel alu hindi kal sal un morsel el following morio. Ora di tribo ngarbo. Magi ayi ko ram na analyzing ase well a difference er belaw Michael baby rablu. Oh, I'm sorry, temle include ra CNMI ma akwam. So CNMI ma akwam ma belak medlo sisu ara la aluri. Sel the follower sel trend ra la alura blula. Di RMI ma saibala I mean RMI ma FSM adia. Ito say mainly the main difference. Di one a fuel company regal bulu. So they dictate of course silang FSM alone yung government. So teacher I know clock concern, but it's also important for us to keep them honest and making sure that they provide their alu. Dirigal diswakal ungtel telebay sa Minister MPII lengari ukle update rin ilo matira adra blueberry eli lu kira la alu ra uk skogi mal dil update rin.
Msulara te alle e presidente wil 2000 mera arbeklat. Maria meeting rigide ele lobantrira a Blue Bay tira om alu a skogi. Irige ako om alu a skogi sa Lemer Airport. Tuluay sirigide eli wasendia a concern malubeng issue ligire la tial regular alu. The Jet A1 dia kadilgit Guam sub-regional ang adadu luwaseng makarangal pol cooperate igal commercial airline rigida again no matter what I get priority rigid dakal sabedan etadilu tamne assure rigid luwasege di maral dil sugo ma issue alu malmong jet A1 amo gire dal masaw dringi magiyo mo meeting lo pantri al afternoon tirmaro cool stakeholders ra. Tadiri ka luluay sirigidal. Waya lulu ko update ra president was tanam sa rise ra egal commercial airline al mala aluor belaw. So we're gonna find that out luwase nga ra egal skoging lamo o di el tum tramadal mera uriul al ubet memala aluor belaw dembeo taaral nga ra reason. And din diyan so abol aloral mokos o sugumang mokos so kotala rangar madatal time and so the reserve ay ku share gider tial alu among those benefit or other bela and so abol benefit ra mundir ay the president ay kamama mo meeting ra afternoon hopefully kung ngari nga update mo tuwa badara next week sula.
Pero Mr. Magda, bukas ka di manage, make sure hindi mo naman ma-service sa kamo. Open our gina lagi man.
Memedik follow-up person question or rather statement ra Minister obi ang direct question ko ka with Minister matul paring ngara ko ra omesang in terms ra legal okay ka rin nga rawa Asian may are you seeing any decline alubang remain consistent to this at this time ngara ko ra projection or in the coming months.
Lang dir tilo da lo ura I get the March and it looks like there is steady market rigid there are mal affecting adital ko ra sa bakren nga sira other in the street ay gidal to ko ra skogi mo mani affecting ra flights and the at the moment and say report of mundia ka marketable concern and ilwonia minister obiang nganya EOI sa punanya message net mo China airline mo change at given fuel charge ngi ulang ani at given ang ngari ra relati at the moment hindi ka for concern gid flights ra Australia is looking good so far it's full flights ra Shawal mem it's looking pretty good the serong dudura partners gid president ra Palau Pacific Resort my major hotels at mga concern tiers gid Moni at terbang las kogi because of you. Hindi at the moment hindi ka concern or sige. Sige misal chimbars.
Yung ito tao man sabi adal wase di follow up person sabi adal wase government sara news sara Philippine Airlines and they cut some of their flights sabi adal wase di belawa di walol molmel diaka so far and diaka bol cut off flights in the future with the fuel going on.
At the moment in siya kalwas hindi ka irga ka ngidil tukol gimu ulgira la concerns of flights and
Siya na nga kakilala del executive order adira kalmara Dr. Jenkins within the order nga nga para mawriol kilala policies ray ay usage ra school or is that for you to
As of right now, which is an outdated policy, we're revisiting them. It would be considered plagiarism, which would be considered copying right now. That's as it stands. We are investigating the use of AI as well as cybersecurity in our high school curriculum to develop it more so we could be using them effectively.
So, mga sidro sa alila, amos pera ay almulus ra bilingem, tete ka bilingem. Babilingem lamsin. It's chili. Mga agad lang culture ang lihat kasi amok te ka school, help pergal mo dulos per tiap tulum. Sa los pera, too much technology, yung amaral mo kikarit taptulong. May say, yung gira dem lisir, sige dem encourage her na lagyan dalo kasi, mos pe aptel mim. Okay, so. And I think that was one of the outcomes that Sarah Albora, First Lady Albora American always say, we don't want to train a dumber generation. But gira dala, I got through the other aspect. Ngarian man bredo sa dos para calculator. No, you should use numbers, be able to do it in your head. And then calculator is to assist. Mungira dalo sa galbongon basta assist us, not yeah.
Follow up se Presidente Delberinga First Lady ma in the Australia took the extraordinary step na social media for youngs. Seldon sarwa masilbelaw maya pero nga is either with Belao. Because a big country am not taking a step, the technology companies are now starting to follow through. At the level, ang anong dasul ko kita mo parte ya gidele. Yung dasul ko mo regulate the social media gidele. Ang anong at the level ng gilaro Australia mo regal toy.
Yeah, malungkot question Sir Langarse, First Lady, to rise second time, I'm like sell lawsuit against Facebook. Kamdalingil Redil, I think she won $6 million from each company. Yeah. So, say, historic case, mandekal deal Australia, mlaban na social media, mandekal namura Europe, angel First Lady of France, ulo ay their goal. Spain has already taken the lead. So, yadekal, I think, kitel na siya del Banavape. Maybe this is the next good initiative. Got the limit use, and it's proven below 18, hindi ka na help pringira arang get. Why did tomal trir? They get bullied, they get ito kayel makitel albay wala tan malak lang artir mo. Something that we need the whole of society and malungil kam na bring it up. So I think malungil champion nga masil belaw. Ito lang. Well, mothers, I guess.
I just want to clear, maybe ask you to clarify what Lila was asking. Is there a school policy in place covering the use of AI for the school?
We have a technology use in our policies. AI is not specifically mentioned in that policy. We're in the process now of completing revision of the updated version of that, which does include AI. And thank you for bringing this up, because I wanted to bring one thing up with the use of AI. AI can be used as a research tool, provided it is given proper citations, just like you would use a book or a dictionary. But for using it to write the paper for you, that would still be considered plagiarism. Is that clarified? Oh, yes.
To follow up comment. So, and this is probably going to the gentleman on the end. Will there also be like AI policies regarding the use with certain government agencies? We've started to notice a larger and larger usage of it, and like not very not responsible usage of it. Like literally have like errors and stuff. But so is there going to be some thoughts about doing an AI policy throughout the whole of the government sphere?
So now Malungil Ger, kind of address all the questions regarding tech thus mentioned. One of the roles and responsibilities the task force has agreed upon is we need a body for research and development. And so you need experts to study these things and give good recommendations to Palau leadership. So that's something that we're going to take on. Eventually is finding these topics, finding interest, gathering this data, and then helping develop policy, researching it, so policy makers can make educated decisions.
Yes, and also in terms of cybersecurity, national security, we don't want. The idea is we shouldn't upload things that are considered sensitive. So we're also trying to look into information classification scheme. So that all ties into how we should use AI in the professional setting. So those types of policies this office will look into as part of the research and development, and also part of cybersecurity, national security.
Mr. Cullen, tial officer kung tial task force tial executive order blay sign ring adaitorio. Tial officer kung miun direct kamo o mesa kora atora bullying ma sexual harassment like tokora technology, let's say al suguma ada uspe a social media mora private message ra ade kora bully al uvang sexual harass. Is there, will the office sab el mo o misaygay ekut makliya la lobang tatriar adara olbil and make a recommendation? And the only reason why I mention it yang, I recently was sexually harassed through private message. So, President Tenggoram lo swakal mo reach out and mo rablia pulis and di kwa si hale dik reach out and mo ranggal at makrimle reach out and mo ramareteringira eli to address the issue. Manggora di swakal razor selling arava ospe ay gangi kato mes kautiam ne mention tel recent tel Facebook ko to tackle 6 million ng karadil. Manggora di ne swakal put out on the table was I thinking di aldil tora AI matora technology kung da sing ngigigida kire tel direct kamo o mis was makarata takalurol gut makling. So, tulang.
Ma'am Sadri, it's first I want to commend you. That's very brave to bring to the table and bring it to people's attention. I will say that Moria involvement naman, but this is really a collaborative effort. There's a cybersecurity bill which addresses that. So it's not just from one party. There's a whole of government approach to tackle these issues. And we will definitely have a role in that. We want to engage with different government organizations. Different ministries can approach us, and we can collaborate on issues just like that one. It doesn't have to be strictly technology, but if there's a technology element and they need guidance and recommendation, counseling, or just our input through the research we can do with them, we can help address those issues. But just to reiterate, this is going to be it'll need to be a whole of government approach, and we need to engage with multiple stakeholders.
I guess, Colin, what's more important is it's a coordination office, but also to help us with policy. Help best practices. So not only in the technology that we use, whether it's making sure that we have the same domain, we have the right hardware, but also how to manage that software. So not allowing Facebook, for example, on government computers, or making sure that if you're under the age of 18, you're not allowed on social media. So these are laws that will be required. I think the office, one of the things that the office will be doing is helping us develop those policies that we will recommend to the OEK. So, good.
May I ask a separate question to the Minister of Health? Minister Oilo, I just want to follow up on the status of the hospital administration's separation process. Like there's already a board for the hospital administration, and where are you in that process of separation?
So, so lang ragirele, as you know, in last Congress, laringi sa igit la milgat mok viable separate tial hospital from the Ministry of Health and Human Services. At the same time, I'm create or say the hospital authority. Sel say viable take over and run at tial operate run at tial hospital. So, yang makatagtaral madrodra board ringi our board members fully constituted. At chairman at tira Dr. Dever ngarinyawan ramal limos rato ko era hospital administration ngadi nga ramrigel and then tara board member e malklawa contribution ringi masupport ringi gerel ti igidel transition al mo ti igidel so el al time ang ngaringi marayla plan afar or Palau ni former Minister of Health gaygi di ako walom te nga walom te ministry lowreol lomengel sa igidel hospital authority el tire el al time put a plan together ko direct el rule assessment ti al hospital lang malbeto ka girel kat magille ma direct legislative igel proposed legislation man direct girel mo gatmok la mang raw irabol fully implemented ti igel transitional mora ra hospital mo eungel ti igel hospital authority sel wal wara plana wase kada hope waseng lasa LD sometime this year for a target day tawas nga October ebergol sa bail nga rin transitional at least tel makatokla paperwork o in the full implementation girela authority Ministry of Health and Human Services at makalurior mol motor cell point tamlamo sa bail tiagil ato hospital authority will take over entire hospital sa igide so akurat as model transition more sa igide BSL ra hospital mo ra BSL mo under tiagil BSL hospital authority sa igide mang cloriol marare lang behind the scene aring expert director ra ADB director ng seol kurat put these plans together mandiakal kura mo gibet kura mo gibet tiakil girel ay gang as you know el al time tial hospital ma public health awal nga under tial imol umbrella ra Ministry of Health and Human Services dirga nga bato ka resources mrulaw reo mak mga ria bebir guk employees ra public health guk nga ra alsela hospital lorior guk nga ra bebir toktang ra hospital guk provide a service el mora public health may gigi dia bebir aldum ko daw spare tirgay gidal kura expert lo lang sa orgit awase ka bodungil mo abiityang bodungil waseng malwang ra kostra at so mga riya coastal girel offset ta marukoy ay gigida direct girel magatmok apply na mongil magatmok raw irabol sa bedel fully implemented ti gidal separation
هذيك نقطة ضالي رسالة وسائل كده ورمجر Ministry of Health الترال implement رسالة لا هذا passaría como 3 years ago la introducción de Senator Cuartey magdamri nga suler sel luldaso aseng ngradale hospital mo efficient di real yado no me se ngareger la al time el tiblo no somos for example al boli le aklen giril di tiril higher adrir we want them to have the flexibility legal nga sel government system hospital trust fund they collected revenue so the collected level detail service ma procurement process we need to let them have their own procurement process ma again require the amendment del moral la masir what timeline la doctor class kada the October 1st but still other core component we're going to need more money transition is going to take money to create ADB has come up with I think 2.5 million is what is required to begin the transition process so idea rido as I said submit ra budget advising sea request ro mangyadra mang sel bol October 1st ma ba awdo mangyal maura siya mo taut mang sulang naman lungil
Vice President ngarinyar smell ngara Taiwan el baby ratay meng morning issue tira igal tigingir mara translator malaking direct ngarinya smell dir gamle kora o mondal wase sel goli sel lududir ra insurance tirgelo ngara ersta tokora insurance waldil oitias mera manggal imoras mera cancer stage 4 namo de halsbil itugi namo de halsbil ngara referral housing le lokong masega ba matawal dil iliting gals mera dia ka escort teringi mang end up pataras mer malengara tial hotel ngil ngarbi tarashingong al $60 a day. Gidadim dinge rokul was emplool nga niya fundraising al ukotol ngita ngesurar smel mong di altira awngil basarir mate end up al aloit yar adara NHI ade alol nga sirtir. Mangwal dil goli tialudo dara NHI and then tigel rep ra NHI ya oiti mura point tetamla mo kol ra Shirley mo translator ngara sel balwala biil ngara train al melmera asingong al upsel hospital ngarngi end up palol nga sertigal smer. Mael ang botokol smer mlamong marngarse ol ngitelwase. Ngarahmal issue ra Shirley men by the halsab edel hiring ilbol sab el translator lol nga sertigal smer el ngarnya adel lol nga sertigal smeleng kadamding el wase NHI ya walo ngara rarogo ya hospital ade hal ngara alsel tial togoy sel once el refer tin mora Taiwan ma to aongit tawase is there any way el sab emel mga tadurar adara NHI el bol sa baril nga ringingel adel waya Shirley sa elon nga sertigay gidad smer leng betokol smer amlamot to ititrire de haududil de alsabin mahoter ialgorong nga ringa kuktara adel kukora sa elon nga sertir mang end up el maru martil mol muter seral sel return and merbelaw sel next flight mang se akora dimle ongit telwase sinseng kamora press conference kam kora korira vice minister health delwase magarada ko ordinate labanggelar adara NHI malbol sa imral take care tigals me lakal taying artir el ititrir el masegada referral housing mar avel direct kawngil basril ol ko nganya sorry maatirir ngarngi yar escort el kierat aigar room yar sme el cancer el dia kaududir al upta loit el dulwasen dia room mang goradim leso akal share sel wase makarapotol nga sertigay gidel sme sel labong.
So medik bagat taklit ya gidel mora buhayin bol lodang liye. Yal Ministry of Health and Human Services ngi ang ngi tegi del Medical Referral Committee ngi say gidi part of yal Ministry of Health and Human Services. Masengar lela tirgel members el committee Medical Referral Committee, tirgay toktang. Tirgay git sel bornya gay sra adal smer. Merko yung mor madal sa gidal committee, tira may ga decision rawa sa ingal adal smer ang gangiret el referring il moray krel belaw. Kaya labong yung morgel hospital. Say yung RLL sel committee, masay gidya ang RLL Ministry of Health and Human Services. Now, el asel tal blal lobatak luwase adamo tuwa badal moraw guru ray krel belaw. Isay ang ra ala transfer el mortegi del healthcare fund o isay sel ngi healthcare fund rigid HCF rigid isay kuk ilek pal alad el ngi ang el finance ra rokuil toy ay kagid referral cases el more krela blu belaw so tirgel tira ngara arwa Taiwan tirgel adraurior el ngara Taiwan para ngara huriping tirge ureol mora HCF Hindi akal gimaw ngara artir tial Ministry of Health and Human Services. Tirgay dal adra HCF tirgay di awalo ngara artirgay dal adra uriol ngara igay. Now, nga ka understand that tial issue tial yakal PSL issue na mergid. Remember last year, gimlora public hearing ramadala Senate. Senator Cuarte direct nila raise at tial los issue was a ngaringay tirgel ngara Taiwan wal wara amadala HCF langarsay al walo mes hindi make sure abiling sa maruguya ungil basul hindi kakukto mes rawaseng kalel ngarnya adal sa pedal hire ngi al wakuk polo mes al wal wara madri tirgay dal patient sergid ngara awuru ray krel belaw so se tia mlamora attention ra HCF and then again Kaya gidal wara mo tames wase medalo tal reinstate rangay gidal redil aserli lo tal maurior mal wara madua tokoy rawat Taiwan mal sabi el wara help pertrigay gidal patients ri gidal ngarase. Let's not forget ang gal serli uluriol lo bangel amlar gidal role a way back so lagok moringia koramo issue mangra mangaldo mangguk tilo badra ureor el ategid do reng seringil toko el wase kalelungil mlu telungul mera al sel tial ureor mang ak madangel wase chairman ra HCF el ngira ite daktoriano mang madangali tial tiagid longit mlamor madala chairman ra HCF maarang lela HCF board matungil aware ni hindi ba isipekal duli awase tala abay well aware tigil issue el abay yosi garolel wase ngaringi atararay el boda kat makli tila igid el improver sa igid el service el morar adal belaw el brother refer til moray gayid el hospital ray krela balur belaw especially balur at Taiwan mang a desisyon ang ara HCF el may gara desisyon ang sokabol blakatakal sa igid and the again kita giredel me diklo tal edringil was tial insurance rigida malklo ablal help ringi adra blur belaw before albornya insurance rigid itamal atarra ke galebola ka boldoril ada tuwa badal moray referral el moray krela blur belaw di el time el tial insurance rigida malklo ablal help ringi alla ablagatak was hindi akal sabi akablement el assumer tiar rogil kostra referral el moray krel belaw or the assume ra 80% ra cost ringi and the others may ra direct luk ngaringi sel part ringi waseng girem el pair say gidel el 20% tergaw yet ngaringi igel maximum limit el pea so the programa mal help ra ade and the at the same time ak madangi hindi akalungil other ng sel tabtokar mataar basrir hindi giril moraw gurul menggired losi gabek kal aldur se seranges rawdo guk direk lolang seol rajagid guk additional cost di akal sabi LTL program rigid HCF will take care especially arwa kostra escort rigid al moray krel belaw may gigid al asel labong el tobra aygal blay margo al aguk kirel ngaringa gigid al walgora se seludu dela adal sabi el guk tingil take care ngi rai krela belur belaw sa gidi adi do lingit ringi o lingit understanding ra other belaw was rogu il was ya gida guk sabi ela mental gut makli HCF gut makli aigel guk sabi edal guk assume sa gidal guk terngela expense ra adal ngaraw guru rai krela belur belaw di kadat make kayong seo lo si gabek role le olang seo ra bekla adal mora guru now so kal duli ti agid le president tamla gura director ngi as you know klo lugurul moray krel belaw to gura casino ma say ataragot al expensive to gura guru gal referral cases al moray krel belaw so kada makaray motames el reduce sa gid al cost so adal lower lo maktuba cancer care program ra belur belaw mal suguma adam la morsel point la mo girel mora medical treatment ra krel belaw ito sendring ilmo di thereafter emerkoel sa elding artial belur belaw elolay gel follow up el treatment tar al sela belur belaw sa gidi at tames lo si garolel gut maklil direkal save cost el mortir ga igid al adling tirgal do sa other tir adal mong emerko kiel maktek tirga igid al tokor tirar cancer patients el girel ngari gel follow up per tire matangar sem girel tuwa batay Palau house el agu girel guk barangot al dalong ok mang say tarara el gimo say ga al ulele mo implement ringil say ba cost el mortir ga igid al adal moray krel belaw
If I may just follow up, Gamblo mentioned el wase once el bolmera kaubrele la medical referral ngar la HCF for tialel. Leng katamtingel wase tiam total issue. Dia karolel sab ela hospital kung el smikrolel el haira adra Taiwan el madamiul make sure tigal smera well taken care of. Le HCF of course tamru langar alir. Di once el tay nga smer al upang olo tokoli tialudu dir let's say cancer up to 35 and 70,000. Once el bol ngem daigel guku do del let's say mer nga al cancer patient de giaw do. Ito waldil oiti. Hindi aksel gora follow up and make sure ang gal smerang gora waldil bon mereg and that's it. Makatokora tral wase makarata resolve tial issue el make sure tigal ada taken care of el dia kati the ititri de to besertin malakar atel gora helper tit. Lasab amil hospital gul haira other sel lol nga sel loader lobangela HCF. Kodokora tral resolve tial helper tigay gidel smer man dia kalti polo lobong el itingal smer because sel goreng sertigal potokol smer la mga tadu nga geng gora wal dil bonmrek tial ludo dra HCF and then they don't bother. Tuwal til itingal smer. Makatokora tral wase makarato ta helper tir.
So tilal idea tilal uldas wadire kal giblam lamer gidire kal mla consider ngi alwase kalel sa ela hospitara Ministry of Health and Human Services el guk mornya adalal ngarse el mo sa el guk ka take care sa gid el partner ngi hindi at the end of the day en Dios civil service sa to sa ngi ali tialudo udra HCF tia take care kostra gururang galat sel el mo take care ay gid el guk adra ureor el wal mo madri mo lang seur ti gid el patients el ngara al sel hospital ngara gurul mangarang se dia ludo udra insurance ya gid el coster tial referral ra ada cover ngi se morar staff ra mang itasan maral wasing employee ra HCF malubel employee ra Ministry of Health and Human Services. Agidim la consider niya wase al suko mangaria adal more say the position it might as well be an HCF employee. Leti agida ko kimrelil mo ministry ra wal employee ra Ministry of Health and Human Services and guk maagiram create additional expense ra aside from salary ng kal adra ureore maagiram guk provide abebir ra angesura sabel ngay gidal adama mangar selbasyo abay betengel sa gidal wase Libornya adal HCF al abay sa el hire ngi guk mo take care sa gidal side sa gidal aspect tial el service ra el ngaray krela balur belaw mang so yes agi mal mlakan consider ngi el maungil malamol malaw marang el wase al suko mangaringi adal more sa gidal drual lek mal understand ra tial issue lamo tokar adal mlame malgor nga kal girel digi wase sin sa HCF fa handle Artiya once mo siya adras ko gilmo ang HCF o ngara rangi sa gidi al tara aspect del gidi consider ni fill up ringi mo. Yeah.
الكرة دي update كده غطرول كده عمال so that make sure a patient البرا غرول نسي المرمي ولا هالدري that's what we all want. دي هذا دري كانوا a limitation. One, the other ministerial bureaucrat and more sim motekeri. I'm always about finding solutions. So Taraudas will give lam during our minister of state. Das was ang Moria Besar ambassador gidan mura ablura Taiwan. Kaya nga kalgi kumaldar singin mo albira kalular ila April session vice Mr. Gaffaru Erbala. القدغورة عندها سواسين important embassy يقدر say أبلورو مجال HCF الترال address هاي issues one of the issues that we have is we have patient issues so try to come up with a holistic approach and deal with these issues but أختير قالوا say at the end of the day we want to have unlimited care but that means also with a pera 2.5% ang ayad raising mo 5%. Ayada ultimate cost. So ngari igel baby ra blood rule. Sir el bodoro ngi ra blur bela. Ayya help ra. The other thing blood ra liga na mar sel blara hawai. Sel mokte gari da se el sel kungi ra hawai ate ka limit. Kadi nga gurun mon more sel lulo bangalen. Mang gadaman mo igor jada sel sum ka kasinoma. Make sure maybe it takes a little bit longer mo tungal oily by por hawai. Lagi kita ungil opportunity lang gamang lagurul batte tomangyaman murayan. So lagi kita kakaro sur approach kita hindi kita muraygal probable swedel trail others kita it should help para.
So, if I may, Presidente, at sumang maway sa itya kita malungil kukay sa daldali Presidente, lang labay sa payadalaw spare sa kita embassy kita kura Taiwan. الأديرك السكو مغارنيا staff الغارني available SPL كليل SPL help الجريد سيجد الرول lek mlara taiwang ra nga kamlora taitung el mortiale alingano maisu ceremony ya ngal ngia mle ambassador gide walu ngara embassy gide ra Taiwan mendirek wal ngora mil nga dul wase kamama diagi molar sel list ra ro will patients el referral patients ang ngara balur bela wal me pakwa se why lek to me en siya kabalimentary gide ngara balur ra Taiwan so akum das se gide al abay tara guk tara ra president el bay sa pedal lo spare te gide embassy gide ra Taiwan ngarinya adal sa el fulfill sa gide role el kawa amasawa drangi yan
Ahora ahorita eso hacemos la bill, quiere la appointment.
Kaliga mo na, Ministro Obi, ang ay ka President, il at monitorium styling issue license na se laab mong di kasi makalaringin hindi kundi obvious na communication na regulatory SFL blue legal policy around ni walang to ka adra luma so bal ko na aska ka logi na kelwa se di kasi SFL ko na at least cell usage ringi lang nga bibila adal nga areas di ka sila pension mo ma remote areas ma so bal ko usperingil help so partir lingkirin mobile marokoy. Hindi ako dasul ko na ensayal para sila officer kami mungka at least tell allow cell usage ringi not so much that yan hindi ka technically to hindi ka lumaring wala to maring outside hindi ka paling hindi ka cell license operator wala hindi tiyale yung kuti usage at tiril nga al sel wala hindi kasi el ko mo yung dasul ko na mo o meso sense el ko na help pra kaya services hindi ka afford the pension merigid at least at the time being.
Biya ka awngir ka nga wakla madangalyala okira luwasa makarabo do liwek rala ka adara media mangira maldire kal mo malamal to omong do mandia ka ta tetarak luwasa kida amadangi la luul belaw sila to india ka waseng ngarinya margalel belaw dia kal apply sila la ring rokuil margalel belaw adi apply alla ring hindi kita understand ra neither service di tara ulang loringa moratorium maklol project tara especially PNCC albangal president ngila no sabihin mag-grant tara marigel mo helper tir ma katukora miru rutial schedule moratorium ma aigal project was sellable mereka aigal maklol project gidal amana mo sa edel pinpoint was ngaraigel el area sa balur belaw el dira kal sa edel PNCC provide al ubeng ngaral level a services sa low spec magadamal understand a need hindi la ngaringi mang kadamalas maluro loban trira rebekla ma PNCC was ko makarang ore daikal project al momere kamar ada amos edel assessor tero gilbalul was ngaringi adir ka area sel dira kapon sa service el moringi because ang limited ay gali infrastructure kami ngara mang akmalo oling iterkol was help brigade was moratorium mga ringi ela mang siloger el waise sodil mortire ka adra media mo kamatanglia o omul mem mo gera nga kalwas mga rabaw kuliwek rala malabo ka malmon marawrelet loban tirar kada masanid yung ngaringi rel almay hindi ngaringi ang mil reason sergit ya moratorium madir ka so adal al enforcing.
So halaga dokora di table history tel tora communication ng blue belo. Malaya time hindi mla ka fiber optic cable ng blue belo. Malam kita service. 2016 ang yan uploader sel first fiber mera so is blue belo. Auri urse no le aulda sora blue belo sen ka dos pera backup. Muil dungo ongerul fiber lo susibira sel blue belo. Ngara 2019 telul dosa Mirael sign agreement ro magela Siabal ma Blur Australia المسكيد alone يلا التايم كده already كده جريد الحارة ورسل لون ورا Blur Siabal رسل لون ورا الكيبل القرى دي مسكمة تستريم كمان understand سنجرا قدر الأوترين من ترى التور أوبيس yang amal baik ang awak lah. Tiap starting ko amal yasu tiap di 995 amal mo bagarur tra PNCC ma. Dingir teman teman saya PNCC a di deliver di selolsis ma BSCC. Ya gotok klol okya gara a BSCC a PNCC. Mela PNCC nga kadang tengah teng amblur amrigel amlongongin temestira grant temestira a cable. Mo upgrade aigal 5G tier. The problem da albangari a BSCC. Kada mo create ni ilang alung level sel. Ya da bere Starlink mul tool operator yang eng dana aldana revenue ra PNCC and maybe they can survive. Lang they have cellular marukoy. Hindi bulkulo aseng less abol per mura BSCC a BSCC ang mga chubure. Elal sils Reinhardt el CEO ra BSCC adir murtimetel obis asebs ka kaudo. Akmosi kaudo dergen. That's the reality that we have to face. Mundial lagal soda service, kada soda make sure a BSCC almalmol, the important here gable a leadership certain minister of money umral waset ya will back up. Certain Starlink dimlagal dimle the swela Elon Musk. Ilang reality and it works. Lugum kada date lulo magila Elon Musk ra beginning na tamda job din uktim certain din la wasega ora di undas. So what we're trying to do ensure was a BSCC magramam CC and I think we have to come to the realization lo say nga agira del mortobo da udo da national government el persel bel la BSCC nang digel sabe. Agida discussions that we have to make. Sella arella olbira glulaw el protect ra BSCC ma PNCC lang al chubrera yang aiga kung balir gid at the end of the day gid other bela mo ulung legal plan ya alakada so alakada harawri through service ya mo harawri through as taxpayers because ang said agi bla ta until 100% the government bela if we don't pay the $50 million loan through revenues that they earn and mobile set other bela rogul haraw. So sige tayo ko ra mo help understand rin mong tial BSCC a clockledar other belaw. A PNCC mong clockledar other belaw. A Starlink a malde ka imori clockledar other belaw. Hindi isa ro sa time mga riger al sera blur belal to their benefit. A question was benefit to other belaw at the end kokongin mo pera Starlink e mo kokongin was ka mo raise a tax example. If we have to pay the 50 million we have to raise a PGST 2%. Mukhabre surplus. Hindi mo rakaw. Ay kita kira dal. I'll analyze. I got decision. I'll face all bill. Kada face rapid change. So, siya kung taso kada malmul malbod bri. Di ultimately kada mga wase. A BSCC aboloror selongarul cable. A PNCC al connect tegel fiber and morahom. And a Starlink cannot compete. We will have the best service. And that's why ang recent moratorium on motel 2028 hands down. Kada question kasi for 1 year ago may Starlink man invade tomlia akong balir gida masangan mo growing gida. That's the question and that we're faced with. So sulang
Lang.
Alitik elagel dilo present. Idam la mora martial makadam na telgibel subi. Yang wak. Aiga Starlink ka siobay. Hindi lultuy la revenue ringi tirigel mali apato estra magagrel belura marcia. Ultuy regal maklol siobay maigel maklol revenue ringi. El aigel maklol siobay ra marcial lang amla. Mang problem sel telecam ra marcial la. Ang aringa belura a South Pacific elmla car offer Starlink rin. Leng mla mo soal al chuburera sel national telecom company tirim Tolingi te dola klub letra ay galbek keblung albebile ka mare dal soda ungil. Di ungil ang mosabli dara kamangal time mal uben di bay obulit. Ay gigi ala gire dal telikibal malpot.
di follow up say understand malmo o ay sa ada pa kay hindi direct nga niya sa dong ba gele technology news may yang ang direct kam nat mo ba as player abasan liyo mo lan sa ide ya isel kuk to gele kuk gele behind the scenes may yang ay gele duk negotiations ay yan makol kumbali ay ospe abak pon na blu dia ka ko dos winner wa BSCC ma arwa mo ko na makalmet na beral mo sa backbone na systems because they need fiber backbones throughout the Pacific and they pay them. And I know for a fact kasi the new Amazon Leo, which is also a Starlink-like service in mo launch na yang, na although they got more several governments that have fiber connections na Pacific and throughout the world for deals on how to hindi ka ko das ka mo sa supplemental revenue na PSCC start to reach out to other service providers because this is a global network at the end of the day. The maral mo part of lado mo. Hindi ka sa me all go that way. So, pali mo daso.
Dia mal kong yelo bangge mangari daso se starting dire kal bigire sel mo okya karigit. And I think sigida close to trail. A problem ra Starlink and I met with them first time with the DC was 2022. Starting at even with a mentality and I think it's the Tesla model. We don't want to involve anybody locally. We want to buy direct to the customer. Meaning, they give respect the regulation or they give respect the taxi, they give respect and so that was Starlink's approach at the beginning. So hopefully, and that Marco to tell PSCC, PNCC reach out to us say, so how do we partner? Because and is it Starlink or is it Leo? But yeah, malungil hopefully toreng terong. Hindi adi rur temertel do sigaw do, loran mo sigaw do dara Starlink Malio. Sulang.
And on that subject, President, ngara status sa second cable, para mo katek stola construction, what's happening?
Unfortunately, we've tried to engage. We're still on hold. It has not been connected. Asikan cable kadang leper sel 17 million un mo matira bertak mga artiang sel imura cable mga lak la dim laka dia connection. So that's the unfortunate thing about the current system. And diri gamra la negotiation o migilay kumbali make sure hopefully soon I last further as elal metira mo kanik. So igamalungil question mo Reinhardt mo.
The cell cable has not passed us yet.
No, cable already went past, connected.
Di tal pura di
Lagi ng cable ngara Singapore mo ramrigel, gida cable or belaw. Ang maldi mortiagi de stop. Mal sabarta. Diga lobe. Ela ka taas kertia sem gidra igal tablor merbab e irti em plakartia.
Was that the regulatory issue? Is that
it was a bad contract in the beginning. So the Silicon Valley will provide their cell connection. They find the financing. So Facebook and Google put the cable anyway. Every issue say, well, it's a whole legal problem. Unfortunately, the okay outside. Mamla ngari akong bali loader mgela BSCC hopefully will get connected in May. That's the latest deadline. So
Minister Iyer kamsada Starlink Manggora di suadalo kera kalgiril sa tokora Starlink luasing allow our solda low spele. Toreng sa adara baby adara blilyo tok mungaring yar solda low spera Starlink gal nga assist mertir low spera ngira blilyo.
Dia kamal masaura agireng Kami o sisiwal sem ka mga wakil am dangal yato ko marwa wakal mga orang akara. Kita ano marawat hindi akal akum das yung adira ka policy malube ngaral makatmo karadalong ulit. El askara Miguel wasing ngarang uspel ngarabalur el angar sel cook responsibility ringil defense tergit. Se melmu tregal clear masel me akum das yung adira kal mo sub edel wase me inventory ra klalo ra wiral me. Tangaringi joint user tier airport tergit. Tiregal ngaringi al ablakatak clothing ergit el wase. Selameng la dirga kamalo bakatak lo asing rado giungi question aro kuil equipment ma personnel level tuma kami agi dirgalungil moswadra taregal meeting hindi al timing dirga kal sa mamal dictator til asing aral type para communication awam allow to madya kam allow to overbelaw mga tmok laurelium
Sulang na mo plakatakle. Daitoryo kamasaw der sel grant kamal masaw lel sige del togora grant del blamot tabadil girela togora drax mangarang sing kada apply ni through ra officer kami sing wang ra tetle if you can share wang ang ngara ko ra ceiling ra amount terengi mar adel sa rilo reng se o mesa al tabe el pol sa ril matuul apply tial grant del blam motobawi sulang
Umrah sister grant up to 25,000. The application hamera sel grants officer yid. Ngel evita. Yeah. Yeah, mora evita nga obviously nga urun mut nga receive a role grants. Emro tial normal bekara doru ngil grant logyo amgira Taiwan. Elang uk this year amne focus rigida atogora drugs enseguida el grant cedros peril for these purposes. So ang counseling we're open to all. Hindi ka dito sadra or to takla ng sadra karal dire. Mo si sa. You know.
So I'll ask a question Mura Minister Obiang mal kalum te Ramef. Naring a flyer circulate la cell brown tree snake. And so the clarification was nga brown tree snake rebelo or if you guys know about that. And ngaral procedure sa umola bal check ay gagit incoming military planes vessels for invasive species.
Sera 2022 en lo separate riora invasive el mora tel bureau kidra Bureau of Environment maguk prior to that or dirakal while sel post border management awal mlatwob del dirakal mora Bureau of Environment so away del el ngara Bureau of Agriculture agi ngarang sel permitting process agi makaloryo lobengela Bureau of Customs and Border Protection el namu babayo el morsay awal gim makaloryo el wal lomes what's coming in and then tira enforce biosecurity but what goes after that awal el Segal mo ogera director Bureau of Environment tara kuk update ra riora invasives. Yeah, but segi de kuk sightings ra brown tree snake maway gegi dawal gim kolera Bureau of Environment report. Ang gegi del National Invasive Species Coordinator Miss Lei Rungulbay awal ngar alel awal receive gegi del reports rabway.
Have there been reports of the brown tree snake nga in Silbelaw?
We've heard maybe well nga kadirak kan na receive reports two or one el korasol mo confirmed but ang mangyan mo maral sa investigation naging makaloryo ra sa koramlo ngarbita ra airport ra last year Hindi tawal kada other belaw mo kada mer adal react tasel de sabersoy kada di mo dir. So ngwal gimle confirm melwaset mlemre adal mo dir angkal adaray. Di sel dangura after that ngwal sel kuk mo follow up investigation na wal giramel kuk makalorira mo mesalwaseng makaragi ma-address ngil amo surbera Abitara Airport or bagay ko para bureau o nga ala. Ooy.
Manggal lulukwa dal bus.
Ako la pasyasing tuwal mlesen mle report telengagi del ko anti ranggal buy gawal mle o maara kale lamal ka. Mangwal ko rapasing pa kasi o ka mesa tiang ngara kapay mle months later ang share waset tiang tari relate agi mle identify ngi el ko questioner ngi ang mle maktiak kam le ko ngi el ading wasen dia aktim le mele el burner ngi mong.
Siya sing the brown trees.
Well, sarak aknes siya ringi ingwal o ingwal ko rate tele la brown tree snake.
Saudi. Ang ting asbet now it's right.
Tamalungi question mra hindi BP. Karigida. Tiga ari olingi ludo no. El partir milsi. Well, was it? We moved it from 8 to 6 already. So hopefully, yeah,
Kadila oram lemon rang. Ringi ako ra kasul kainan.
tamalungi question na. Ang ano ka olbila, sorry na kulmol man minister. Hindi mo ka intentional ka na older. Ang aklam ba? All tamal satisfied raw rin ka malukot timal mol. Sura.
Sulang.
Well, the last question el mer kawe Director Masausel, speaking of invasive species, pero tele forestry fall under ati bureau ka? Additional bureau.
Dirak katel forestry mang tilo ba the mang dirak ka namora Bureau of Environment.
Okay, no, I was algo joke la say kanya ko ra further study malung outcome sel ay sel case ra gale to with tal invase tal raktan lang mas ra sel karakare el time sel dangar pe pula papel da 20 ele leon hindi matao.
Ooy, el ang our other Bureau of Environmental ko ng maya 100,000 from the US Forest Service el mo start raw rior raw umsub raw duy del lobengela abil society magidele instead will abay reach out del mo ra gidele aluy la ra obis ra division ra forestry nga ra kyang.
The last question dengan sa kadam la ang alak. The follow up question na channel gira la tragal patient trigidel mora Taiwan specifically. Mga similar nga patient nga tragal mla emergency room ra after tam la mo milgol ko. tamna ra Palau House mara emergency room umqodong ra tirakal representative sa HCF leng tirakal dakalot nga set tirakal to sa tangara nga dakalot nga billing ko tama dimla ka adra HCF nga tengwa matamli ko ra share lil mo nga sertir anayan ra klibsayan awula ko kaya kumulwa sa HCF is trying to look for some or maybe create a position or but I guess ang ngaral position exist now ra HCF per se wala nga sera patients that go through like something like that like an emergency after hours.
Akti matingel was nga ringi gel boy grbela wal Paul Wong gesel suguma adang ara referral mo. Ngay gidi ablo oil may pick up para sel gel patient ra hospital ra airport. Yang Woolmore sel girel morngi sel hospital girel morngi. Hindi sel to my understanding sel guk ngara sel hospital ra bekal sil sa sekundas when dia kalungot mo korngi. O matila gidi akundas yung wal waraklo request ra sa igid lulugo ringi Jennifer wasel lelungil nga ringi adal uktil hiring ilme mang walang seur tigay gidal adrebela wal tirangara al sila hospital at temela guru masel guk lal to badra hospital digiril guk to badal mora laka available ay kal Palau House bangara guk le helper tilo say kapasyon labor so again diaksal madangali sa igidal role wasa ang gigidal Paul Wong mga tmok per sa igidal Loreor el direga kum tabel wasang adiregal help per tirigel tira waktu abra hospital and the estung sabel gut mok lagi rokui kalela kama sa igid yal adiregal wala mo torreng seringil wasang mo wala issue or maybe our patients mar escorter tire sa local top dra hospital.
Since ang mention here si Vice, as my understanding, smell lam nga tu rangak. Olkot the HCF Maldimora Airport, make sure to arrive. Diesel Bora Hospital, and dia ka other say. Mol mutra sukuman dia kalgiren mo nyuing mora referral house, dia ka other say. Makumda sing dia kal necessarily dahira mutal adal wal matala hospital. Akunda sa Victorio, it's a lack of communication, the self-compassion. I'll go the extra mile and make sure that is taken care of. I think this is where it's so disconnected. Giral nga niya atal ngarsel maral ngararungul sual make sure tigal smell. Of course, tiwanggal cancer smell stage 4 and then all of a sudden nalapsaw dudel ito oiti. Manggade kalotangil wasing morger. Akunda sing giral nga niya atal ngarsel nga niya rungul sual take care our smear. Nga sel communication aldi haldi HCF adi mora airport. Make sure our smear rame oiti de hallo panggel mora hospital make sure they're helping them getting admitted. So either ang ala kalos pera extra laat malklo a complaint renggel radira sinal ngarsel loader lo panggela Paul, malbot ar other pelati complainer ngi mang akunda singirel morning ngil lo panggela HCF se ko korati the sweat from what I'm gathering rar sme el mlamong el botokol sme el tawtial ni mention lo wasi ya de halbe es el tokoing gegediral complain mang kada bay gora o sigal waigel di lu president se maganato siga solution el moral help partigay gidel sme el mong msulang.
Msulang so I hope para adra HCF oreng sa mlamo malmal aswarti alberedel tial gidel tokoy nga kamaktirek mo talmo convey ay gidel osisyo el tokoy mora at chairman mar adra HCF matamo matang late gidel wasit yang it's a serious issue el gidel address ringi thank you.
Okay. Diyan. Sulang, Mr. Clive, sulang alam medyo energy. Ususak mle, welcome Rabrak ada dim nakatila kal welcome kamal dim le few minutes late. Yeah, musiga parking. Sedi reminder mora ada ngartial building el wasya parking lagi tengarger ngara urand. Marokya ka dekatsin mera press conference pebil sirtir ala kal ngari parking kada. I remember sa customer first. Okay, kada kada maklat ka. and more our employees rigid. Hindi dire ka loss your timing leso ka di o ay silo ase gida of course ka concern na alu and brand more wap. Dol tirakra PPUC May 1st ngiral mas arala dengil mo cover ser cost ra alul tirul maringi na March. When we know lo sa current la ngar olbira kalulaw. Dekal allow say mga ulam la meeting rigid na pagila olbira kalulaw lo say amendralla di mga batisen mliliang kadrutan morsel original do to do del subsidize ra da blue gira la tengi so ayida agor ongit maye ngaram dal olbira kalulaw that we hope that can get addressed la April erabol May 1st radi shira ayida like ano say la klol mo impact ra da blue ayida dire kam na sing bring ara lalu awula ministra man bring aral bring oral gira labas. But we also have to carpool. Di moral, mera obvious na kabukol maramlay sa balu. But anyway, kadi siya kita mal di muterteal. We want to wish a happy birthday. El mortrial tira masyur kita rabe kansil sila dragabalment. Mangaria Leon de Bangek, ngangara Nemo. Oh, kakamdang liya ba isi? Bigara Nemo. Happy birthday. Diri ngangara penardet gintaro ngangara postal service. Diri ngangara Frederick Rumul ngara tiale National Treasury ngara Property and Supply ma April Misa Han nga nursery gidara Ministry of Health. So happy birthday, God bless you. Kita dolmol mal trabudo ma dolulu gira la balwat kita sa next press conference kita Sora on April 23. We would have a press conference on April 22. This is April 23 Sora. Sabi o dakyara lang. Yun lang.